I want to switch gears just a little bit here and talk about some of the violence that we're seeing play out across the country. There is concern on both sides of the aisle, with some saying that this is maybe going too far. Elon Musk making some news last night in an interview. He was asked about the wave of attacks, particularly against Tesla owners and dealerships. Here is what he had to say about what's being done to stop this.
The people at who are actually throwing the Molotov cocktails, they are the foot soldiers, right. But we need to go after the generals, and we're going to do so. The president has made it very clear that we're going to go after those that are paying and organizing these violent attacks. And Attorney General Bondi has said the same thing. I believe that is exactly what will happen.
Do you know who they are?
We're coming for them.
Okay, he actually answered that question, do you know who they are? He says, yes, they know who they are. They're going after them. And he also said he hopes they were watching that interview. Tony, those are some strong words from Musk. What do you make of that?
They should be strong words because these are objectively incidents of domestic terror. When you have individuals who are firebombing political targets to make a political statement, to intimidate, to instill fear in a people, again, many of whom are not politically active at all. They simply have a Tesla because they like the electric car. These incidents need to be investigated to the point where leadership is brought into question. When you consider that Act Blue and other left-leaning organizations have been caught funding these spur-of-the-moment protests and have been encouraging and tut-tutting all of these kinds of incidents of domestic terror. You have all of the Democratic Congress members that seem to have lost their condemnation skills of these incidents of domestic terror. There does need to be a series of investigations. There do need to be prosecutions in the short and the long term, because when you start throwing around Molotov cocktails, this isn't political activism, it's terror.
Okay, you know, it's really interesting because he also said that we can expect some arrest in this. He also said we can expect arrest for the person who stole over 400,000 Social Security numbers. He said there may be an arrest this week. Mike, my question to you is why do we not, and why are we not hearing more Democrats come and speak out against some of this violence where some people have already been hurt at some of these altercations?
Well, I think we're just ignoring what's actually happening because a lot of Democrats have come out, and I'll do it right here on air. Nobody should be keying people's cars. Nobody should be throwing Molotov cocktails at a Tesla dealership. That shouldn't be happening. That said, I think the thing that I'm the most concerned about right now is I'm watching a federal government that's showing a great amount of urgency to support Elon Musk, who is the president's biggest donor. And I want to see them show the same urgency to help the American people. I want to see the same urgency from the DOJ to take on school shootings, to protect our kids. I want to see the same urgency for all Americans, not just for Elon Musk. And by the way, Tony wanted to create some giant conspiracy here. It is a lie to suggest that Act Blue or any other Democratic organization is supporting whatever the heck is going on. We've got a couple of yahoos who are doing stupid stuff that they shouldn't be doing. And what Elon Musk wants to do is distract everything away from it and turn it into a bigger issue so they can create some giant conspiracy theory. This is the MO of the modern right today. They can't stand on their merits and they can't stand on the issues. And they certainly don't want to talk about grocery prices or housing prices. So they're going to start making stuff up and acting like Democrats aren't condemning political violence. And by the way, this is the same political party that had no problem when Donald Trump pardoned cop beaters at the January 6th riot. And now they're going to start to lecture us. I don't think so. Look, nobody should be keying cars. Nobody should be throwing Molotov cocktails. It's very clear it shouldn't be happening. That is political violence. But let's not turn it into a giant.
Of course, there's a but.
Blame it on others. Come on, Tony.
Tony, I want you to respond to that.
What's that?
I mean, you know, playing both sidesism. Oh, of course, this is bad. But, I mean, think about how much people don't like Elon Musk. It's a conspiracy theory to have concerns over incidents of domestic terror when people in Arizona are being run off the road in their Teslas and guys are getting out of their cars to beat elderly drivers because, God forbid, they have an electric car that's the most popular electric car manufacturer in the country. This is an incident of domestic terror. You don't have to throw a but on the end of it. Just say it's bad and move on. You don't have to tie it to some kind of
I'm not going to let the modern Republican Party lecture the Democrats when all they do is lie. And the same Republican Party that's got no problem.
It's a lie that Teslas are being set on fire?
Tony, where were you speaking out when Donald Trump pardoned cop beaters? Where was it? Can you point it out?
The condemnation of the presidential pardon, if we're talking about presidential pardons in the January 6th riot, I've been clear since day one on the issue. I've said the exact same thing I said then. I said the exact same thing I said now. I said that every one of those cases needs to be individually investigated. My tone hasn't changed on that whatsoever. I haven't gone out and thrown, well, yeah, this is bad, but on the end of things to pardon domestic terror around the country that's causing genuine damages, that's actually threatening lives right here, right now.
Tony, are you willing
right,
to say it
gentlemen.
was wrong to pardon cop beaters? Yes or no?
To pardon cop beaters? I think
Yeah,
that those who
was that
committed
wrong?
violent acts should not have been pardoned. I think that those who were in the capital of the United States. Oh, that's the same position I've had since day one. You're still throwing but, comma, at the end of domestic terror incidents.
I'm not throwing butt comma at anything. I think it's wrong to pardon cop beaters. I think it's wrong to key Tesla cars and throw bombs. Period.
All right.
But then you
gentlemen.
said, but.
This has been a spirited and great debate. We appreciate you both joining us. The bottom line is that at the end of the day, we're going to find out. Elon Musk said they know who's funding it. They know who's organizing it. We will let justice prevail. Criminal referrals, they say, have been made. So we are all going to be watching to see what comes out in the end. We appreciate both of you giving your insight this
As
morning.
always, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joe Fanchen.